let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some men without the flashy car, without the $1 million bank account, without the designer suit, still manage to own a woman's heartly? Why even in today's world where everyone's chasing status, some men make women fall harder, deeper without spending a single dollar on them? The truth might shock you because it's not looks, it's not money, and not even raw confidence, that it's something deeper, something magnetic, something timeless. In today's video, we're going to break down 5 things women secretly love more than money through the ancient, battle-tested wisdom of the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius. These are pickup lines. They're not mind games. They're transformations that if you truly absorb them, they will not only change how women feel about you, they will change how you see yourself as a man. So, if you're ready to stop chasing women who only care about what you can buy them and start becoming the kind of men who women naturally respect, admire, and desire, stick around until the very end. This could completely rewrite your love life. And if you're new here, welcome to Wisdom Muse. I'm Amelia, and we don't just talk desire number 1, emotional strength, about dating. We talk about becoming the Stoicism attraction explained kind of man who doesn't need to beg for attention. His very presence commands it. There's an old Roman story about a soldier named Lucius. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't noble. He didn't wear gold rings or silk robes. But he had something invisible that made women stop in their tracks and look at. Even the daughter of a wealthier fell for him. Not because of what he could give her, but because of who he was. One day a fellow soldier asked him, "What is it about youth women in?" Lucius smiled and said, "I live by the words of the emperor." He was talking about Marcus Aurelius, a man who didn't just rule an empire. He ruled himself, and in a world of chaos, noise, and temptation, that is the most attractive force of all. One presents over possessions. Do you remember your first love? Not talking about thicks they gave you or the fancy dates you went on. I'm talking about that feeling when they looked at you like you were the only person in the world when time slowed down and nothing else mattered. That's presence, not presence. And the truth is, women crave this far more than any gift. Not just at the start, but every time. Let me take you into Lucius's life. After long days of training in the hot Roman sun, his armor dusty and his body aching, he will meet his lover under the olive trees. She would talk about her dreams, her fears, her worries. And Lucius Walden interrupt. He wouldn't fidget. He wouldn't glance around or pretend. Taliesin, he was there fully. No scrolls in his hand, no wandering eyes, no mental to-do list in the background, just presence. Now, here's the brutal reality. In today's world, that kind of presence is far more rare. We live in an age where most men can't go 5 minutes without checking their phone. Might be sitting across from her at dinner, but you're scrolling Instagram, you're out there. And women, they feel it. They'll not as when you're physically in the room, but mentally somewhere else, thinking about your deadlines, your plans for tomorrow. That's when she starts to pull away. Not because she doesn't care, but because she doesn't feel seen. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present." It's simple advice, but almost no one adopts it. Most men are desire number 1, self-mastery over circumstances, desire number 2, confidence, self-belief. Time travelers regretting the past, stressing about the future. And completely missing the one thing that actually matters. The now Lucius didn't have gold coins. He didn't fave status, but he mastered the moment, and in doing so he gave his woman something no expensive gift could ever replace: connection. So, let me ask you, have you ever had a moment when someone made you feel truly understood? Not judged. Not she connects, she falls. Amelia's note for you. Presence isn't about doing more. It's about being moreish, just safe. That meant sticks forever, doesn't it? no imagining. Being the man who gives that to a woman, not just once, but every single time you're with her. You don't chase her. You don't need to impress her. You'll just show up fully. And here's the it. In a world where every man is strained to show off, the man who actually shows up is unforgettable, 'cause a woman feels emotionally seen. Shakonics. And when you don't need money for that, you just need to be here, still with me. 'Cause the second thing women secretly crave is even more powerful than presence. And it's where most men fail while the Stoic man wins. Let me ask, have you ever been in a relationship and felt that sudden jolt of panic? Maybe she didn't text back right away. Oh, maybe she laughed a little too long at another guy's joke. Or maybe it was just that eerie silence that Mal wondered, what if she's lost interest? That rush of anxiety in your chest. Every man has felt it, even the strong ones. But here's the difference: a high-value man doesn't let that feeling take the wheel. The reactive man does. And that's exactly where most men lose her without even realizing it. Btu, our Stoic soldier, Lucius. One night, after weeks away on a mission, he returned to camp. From a distance, he spotted his lover in deep conversation with a handsome nobleman. They were laughing, her head tilted just slightly toward him, her hand brushing her hair back. In that way women do when they are engaged. Another soldier nudged Lucius and smirked. This looks like she's already desire number 2, emotional strength. Stillness replacing you, brother. Smouse man. They charge in, make a scene, demand answers, but Lucius, he didn't move. He didn't even let his heartbeat change pace. Utter that night. His lover came to him. You didn't say anything, she said. Y'all weren't angry? Lucius simply replied, I trust that what's true doesn't need chasing. And if it must leave, no force will hold it. Desire number 3, presence, leadership. That's not weakness. That's power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Emotional discipline doesn't mean you bury your feelings. It means you master them. You don't let every flicker of or fear turn into an explosion. You don't let temporary emotions cause a permanent damage, because here's the thing. Women don't need you to be perfect, but they do need to feel emotionally safe. If you explode every time she disagrees with you, if USA can withdraw to punish her, if you panic or spiral when she pulls away, you're showing her that you're unstable, that you can't hold the frame, that her emotions control your emotions, and when a woman doesn't feel emotionally safe with you, her heart shuts down. She may still be physically at present, but she won't let you all the way in. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. Sometimes she will test you. Not because she's cruel, but because she needs to. No. Can this man handle my chaos? She's looking for your center, your stillness. Because if you can't lead yourself through an emotional storm, you'll never lead her through. Own. The man who passes that test doesn't just keep her, earns her trust on a deeper level than most men will ever experience. So the next time Shook pushes your buttons, breathe, pause, and ask yourself, what would a king doer? A king doesn't beg. A king doesn't trudge. A king doesn't crumble when twin blows. He stands. And in that stillness, he becomes magnetic. And here's the secret, brother. Still waters spell the deepest love, because drama is everywhere. But the man who can stand calm, the storm is rare and women feel it. Now that you understand their of emotional ground, ding. Let's go to the third thing women secretly crave. Point 1, that has nothing to do with char, everything to do with destiny. This is where most men chase approval. But truly magnetic man, he chases purpose. Let me ask you something that most men avoid. When was the last time you looked in the mirror? Not to fix your hair, not to check your jawline, but to really ask yourself, what am I doing with my life? Not for hair approval, not to impress your friends, not because the world expects it, but for you. Here's what most men don't realize until it's too late. Women don't fall in desire number 4, emotional desire number 3, integrity, character over riches, connection. Love with the man who's trying to be liked by everyone. They fall fourth man who's walking his own path even if he has to walk it alone. Marcus Aurelius said it best. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating out others. Be occupied then with what is truly your own. That's purpose. And when a man has it, everything about him changes. His presence, his confidence, his value. Lucius, our Stoic soldier, wasn't the loudest man in camp. He weren't the one telling wild stories at tavern or surrounded by crowds of fauns. It was the first to rise before the sun. He trained when others slept. He studied philosophy by torchlight. And he helped others quietly, not for credit, not for fame, but because it was part of his mission. One evening a younger soldier asked, "Why don't you ever join us at the tavern? Don't you care what people think?" Lucius just smiled and said, "I do care. Just note about everyone. I care about who I'd become." That same man, calloused hands, quiet eyes, had women magnetized to him. Not because he chased them, but because they could feel something rare, direction. You see, most men drift through life waiting for something to happen. A man with purpose makes things happen, and women feel the difference instantly because a man with purpose doesn't need validation. He doesn't need to be the center of attention. His mission makes him magnetic all on its sound. Think about it. Have you ever dated someone where it felt like you were just going in circles? No vision, no growth, no real future. It's draining. Doubt. Imagine you're the man who wakes up with clarity. Who knows what he's building? Desire number 5, purpose, direction, who treats his time like gold, who doesn't explain every move because he's too busy making them. In today's world that's rare. And rare is irresistible. If you don't have purpose, you'll chase popularity. And popularity fades fast. When you have purpose, even if you're unknown, even if you're resilient, people feel your gravity. And yet woman will want to walk busy to you. Not because you begged, but because your path calls her. So ask yourself, if I took away the attention, the likes, the approval, would my life still have a meaning? If the answer is no, you've been chasing the wrong prize. Because here's the thing, brother, once you have proposed, there's something else that you value in a woman's eyes. Something rarer than confidence, something more attractive than charm, something that can't be faked. It's integrity. And in a world full of masks, it's the one thing that makes you unforgettable. Be honest with yourself for a second. Have you ever pretended to be not just to get a woman to like? Desire number 4, wisdom, patience in relationships. Maybe you exaggerated a story. Maybe you laughed at a joke you didn't actually find funny. Maybe you said, "Yeah, I love that, too," when deep down you couldn't care less. We vowed on it. And why? Because somewhere inside there's that whisper. If she ceased to reel me, maybe I won't be enough. Here's what most men never learn. Women are drawn to truth. Not the Instagram filtered look, how perfect I am, version of truth, but the raw, unshakable kind that can't be faked. Marcus Aurelius put it plainly, waste no Stoic psychology of attraction, more time arguing goal about what a good man should be. Be one, and when you actually are one, your words, your actions, your choice, line up. That's what makes her trust you. It's what makes her stay. Lucius' face, a choice that would define him. The corrupt official offered him a proin. It's better pay, more influence, more recognition, but there was a catch. He'd have to turn a blind eye to justice. He could have taken it. No one would have known except he would have known. So he turned it down. His fellow soldiers mocked him, "Why throw away your chance? No one would have blamed you. Lucius simply replied that if I betray my values for status, then I am nothing. No matter what badge they give them. That very night, his lover cubed his face in her hands and said, "Do yak know why I love you? 'Cause I never have to wonder who you are. You are these is a man in every room. That's the power of integrity. Because here's the truth. You can fake confidence. You can fake charm, but yoke fake character. Women can feel it when something's off, when your words say one thing, but your actions say another. Maybe she'll stay for a while, but she won't trust you, and without trust, love rots slowly at first, then all at once. So ask yourself, when no one's watching, when you could lie, cheat, or bend the truth without getting, who are you? Because that is the man she falls for. Not the perfect one, not the polished one, but the principled dawn in a world drowning in illusions, filters, facades, and fake status. A man with unshakable values is her anchor. A man who keeps his word, who apologizing he's wrong, who walks away from anything that violates his principles, no matter how tempting it is to stay, that man is unforgettable, but hairsweeper, because there's one last quality, so subtle yet so powerful that separates a man who dicks about power from the man woke has it. It's the art of silence, and when you master it, you won't need to prove yourself ever again. Have you ever felt that subtle pressuretto prove yourself to a woman to drop about your income to name droppy pool? You know, to list your regiments like you're reading your own resume. Not because you truly wanted to share them, but because deep down you felt you had to just to earn her attention. If you've ever been there, you're not alone. Most men have. We live in a world that, desire number 5, strength, virtue, and lasting value worships noise. Where loudest man in the room is often mistaken for the most powerful bothers the Stoic truth. Aracelius said, silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings. Silence isn't weakness, silence is restraint. Silence is command. One evening after returning victorious from a dangerous mission, Lucius stood in the command hall with his fellow soldiers. The general asked each man to describe what role they played in that victory. One by one, the men stepped forward, each telling their story, adding a little more detail, a little more glory. But when it was Lucius's turn, he simply bowed his head and said nothing. The general paused. And you, Lucius, what would you say of your role? Lucius replied, my reward is the outcome, not the praise. And in that meant the room went still. Respect filled the air. The general smiled. Biko knew a man who didn't need applause, was a man whose worth came from within. When you stop trying to convince people of your value, you become valuable, because here's the truth. The man who is straightly powerful never has to announce it. He doesn't need to perform that, he doesn't need to overexcel, and his actions speak louder than his words could. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who couldn't stop talking about their achievements, who they know, or what they've done? It's exhausting. Some part of you starts to wonder if you really are